ready, get ready, ready, get ready, ready. Whoa. Look at the people raising up, the whole Jamaica waking up. Get ready for go with gold, in the man with passion and a purpose.
Okay, comrades.
In a bad way. And since that time we have been training for a rematch. We've been out there training for a rematch, you know? And we are at the stage now that we are ready for the rematch. And in this rematch, we're not going into it and say whether win, lose or draw. In this rematch, we're going to be victorious. And the reason why we need to be victorious is that in order for you to win, the People's National Party must win the election. And we must win because based on what is going on in the country, we need an administration and a leader of that administration who understands the day-to-day struggle that you are going through and is thinking about practical ways to put things in place to make your lives better. And in doing so, let us understand how politics works. You have a philosophy that informs your policies, that informs your programs that you put in place. So when the PNP says that we are a party that believes in equality and access to opportunity, egalitarianism, that's a philosophical view that we have. That no matter where you're from, if you're from rural Jamaica like myself, countryman, or you're from the inner city or from, up on one of the hillside and you're good, no matter where you're from, there must be equality in access to the opportunity. A lot of people misunderstand when we say that, to interpret it as us saying equality, meaning you should just give people things. What we're saying is that there must be equality in access to the opportunity. So, education, for example, you should have, and your children should have the opportunity to gain access to quality education, regardless of where they're coming from. That's something that fundamentally we believe in. So the policy coming out of that philosophy could be that education is a right. We could say education is a right at the primary level or at the secondary level. Right? Yes, hail Joshua. We could say education is a right. And then a program that could flow from that could be when Michael had said free education. Or when the PNP says the first in the family will get the opportunity to go to university on a scholarship. Now it is obvious that the current Member of Parliament for Eastern St. Andrew is operating outside of our comfort zone. And I want to walk through the raindrops carefully tonight. Because I don't want anybody to say that I'm attacking a female. Because I don't do such things. But I think she's operating outside of her comfort zone. She's clearly competent, but I think she's trying to be something that she's not. And in trying to be something that she's not, she's coming across as incompetent. And this is why I say so. For the Minister of Finance, who is the former Minister of Education, to go to Parliament and make a suggestion that the proposal that we're putting forward for education cannot work because it's too expensive, it smacks with either ignorance or, I don't want to say that, I don't want to say that. Let's stop it at ignorance. And here's why. She ought to know that in Jamaica, on a yearly basis, 31,000 babies are born. On average, 31,000 babies are born. Which means that it is likely that when you start going to school in grade 1, you're going to have 31,000 children. In grade 2, you're supposed to have 31,000 children. Unless we have some migration or something, but if the children are in school, you're supposed to have the number that did born in the year, right? So if a 5-year-old child is supposed to be in grade 1, you need to look back as to how many were born 5 years ago, and you know the number of children that would be in grade 1. It's a simple thing. Based on how she was as Minister of Education, the country is experiencing a pass rate at CSEC at the end of high school of 18% of children passing 5 subjects to include mathematics and English, which you need in order to go to university. No, when I say 18%, it means 1 in every 5, roughly. So if we have 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, plus myself make 5, only 1 out of the 5 pass 5 subjects to include maths and English. No, I don't want to get too technical with the mathematics thing. But if we have 30,000 students and it's only 1 in every 5 pass, then you have to divide the 30,000 by the 5, you know. Yeah. So at any one time, the most students that could be going to university is 6,000. Yes? Based on the current pass rate. And of that 6,000, what we have said is that we're giving the child that is the first in their family. Not all of that 6,000 would be the first in their family. Because at one time, I was at university with 2 of my sisters. So, if she knows that to be so, why would she come to the parliament to suggest that the program as put forward by the PNP cannot work? It makes me wonder as to whether or not this administration wants to educate our children to the university level. Because it is absolutely clear that after you've asked children to sacrifice, have mothers go there and hustle, most were alone, father run, God leave them, and they try, they do everything, they juggle, they sell a little thing here, they clean somebody's house, they do whatever they need to do so that they can send their children to school. That child goes to school and performs well, pass their subjects. Poverty ought not to get the vote to say they can't go to university. And that is the reason why the next PNP administration is going to ensure that that child can go to university with a scholarship. Because education is a vaccine against poverty. And for all the people who say education can't yam, I don't say it's not our people say so. But for the people who say education can't yam, you are indeed correct. But education can make you buy what you want to yam. And so we are pushing strongly with our policy. Because education is so vital and so important, we've also realized that some of our children can't go to school every day because the parents are having a hard time to send them to school because they don't have the money. The children are in school hungry. Let me give you my own experience. When I was at Ferncourt, you know, it's the same school the Minister of Finance. She's not a representation of this. When I was in school and we went to school, I used to get $60 to go to school, $300 for the week. And I went to high school between 95 and 2000. No things say me all, me not at all. But when I went to school, the fare was $20 to go to Claremont from Bamboo, and then $20 to go back home. So me down to $20 for lunch, you know. What I had to do, I had to buy a sugar bun because it was big and it would full your belly. And then each day me go to a different friend for help me make up for buy one a big Joe box drink them. And my story be a talker, I don't know about the business, I feel the business, right? Up to this day, if you give me a sugar bun, me you're going to have a problem because me don't like it. I had so much of it when I was in school that if you try to give me a sugar bun right now, me feel like you want me to have things. I don't like it. Me Clyde, man. It's Clyde, right?
The best one of them days.
No, understanding that. And understanding that I was watching my mother do all that, the warm meal, the nutritious meal that they get is from the local produce that are produced right here in Jamaica.
Yeah.
So that's where education and agriculture is going to work together.
That's right.
To ensure my son, I can tell you 3 months time what are the options for him for lunch in his school. The same level of planning will need to take place. And if we start out in September, saying on December 5, the options are going to be steamed callaloo with ground provision or whatever it is, it means that we are going to say for the month of December, we need X amount of callaloo, X amount of pumpkin, X amount of Irish, and we tell the farmers from in the summer, go out there and produce these items because you have a sure market for your produce so that farmers will make money and the children will get a nutritious meal in school. Now, I only pass up for that. That's why I talk some before I start because I only pass up. There's a thing called demand and supply. All of us know about it even before we have full sense. Let me ask the question here. If you have scarcity, look a bit of something, what to the price of it? Gone up. And if you have whole heap of it, if you have it logo, what to the price of it? And so I want to do two examples. Two examples I want to do. This notion that they want to allow imported foods to come into the country and that is going to result in cheaper food prices is not true.
Yeah.
It is not true. And let me give you the example. And I hear some of the armchair analysts them jump up and run go over nationwide and say all sorts of things. But it is not true. After burial, we were paying $1,000 per pound for bell pepper, for tomato, and for all of these items. At the time that we were paying $1,000 a pound for tomato, the tomato was being sold in the supermarket in the US and in Canada for 99 cents US per pound.
Yeah,
they were importing it to Jamaica and clearing it for less than $250. Jamaican. Land it and clear it for under $300. And they still push the price to $1,000.
Yeah.
Now that people went out there and they plant tomatoes, and tomatoes come in enough, you can go down St. Elizabeth now and get a pound of tomatoes for $10. What does that mean? It means that in order for you to bring down food prices, you have to increase the local production of the items.
Yeah.
Because if they are not present, if you don't have it and produce it locally, the people that bring it in are still going to push up the margin to make more profit.
That's it.
And that's why it is important that in order for us to ease the cost of living crisis on you, we have to increase the local production of food.
Yeah, yeah.
And that is the reason why we'll be giving significant support to our local farmers.
Right.
We're going to help our local farmers so they can prepare the land easily with machinery. Not just pickaxe and machete and those things. We're going to allow them to prepare the land easily with machinery. We're going to help them so they can have access to funding, so they can go there and purchase the inputs that they need and produce what we need. We're going to help them with storage and with irrigation so they can maximize their production. And the other reason why I want to talk about this demand and supply thing, from I can remember, as far back as I can remember, every time I watch budget debate, the Prime Minister normally goes in there and says them increase how much you can get from NHT. Not no revolutionary about that. It's every single year. But I want you to follow me. If we used to be able to get $7.5 million from NHT and the government said they are moving it to 9, what they are saying is that they are increasing your ability to purchase a house. If we are not building more houses, it means they have increased the demand for the house, but we have the same amount, so people going to charge more for it. And that is the reason why the price of the house goes up every time you increase the amount that people can borrow and you're still not building more houses.
They admitted that.
The real solution for it is to actually increase the supply of houses, to build more houses. And that is why I'm happy that we have a leader that is not going to be focusing on building one houses, but the next PNP government is going to build 50,000 houses within the first year, within the first term. First term, I don't want them to say within the first term. So that means that the average person seated right here, so we're glad to say the Labour Party moving to $9 billion, because we have said that we are capping the house that none of them can pass $10 million, them low income thing there. So if the NHT is giving $9 million, young people, they want to get $500,000 for deposit plus the $9 million, they gonna leave, they can buy the house right away. So they have already moved that. Now it's time to vote for the PNP so we can build more houses, give the deposit so that people can own these houses. And I'm going to go in on a more right, I'll leave the rest. However, be not disheartened, be not dismayed, comrades. After 2020, when they thought that we were dead and out, we started doing the work. We put the leader of the party on the ground from early to start going out there and meeting with the people to re-engage with the comrades within the country. And I want for you to acknowledge and big up the leader of the party who has been relentless.
You're ready. You're ready. You're ready.
Relentless in going out there, pressing flesh with persons to get this party back to a position where for the last 2 years, I want you to listen to me good, you know. For the last 2 years, the People's National Party has not trailed the Jamaica Labour Party in any national poll conducted by Dan Anderson. For the last 2 years. We have put good candidates in place. We have worked out our policy platform, and we are now ready to govern this country.
Ready.
In getting to that number, I make a special appeal this evening to the residents of Eastern St. Andrew. When the elections are over and they are counting up constituencies, the votes in constituencies, we want for Eastern St. Andrew to be solidly in the column of the People's National Party. It can't be that after 9 years of taking everything for themselves, they are now coming to say that it is now your time. It's gonna be your time from day one with the next PNP government. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
We are the champions of change. Forward, forever, one love. Power to the people, I say. Power to the people, I say. Power, one love, comrades. God bless you all.
sketches a Rhyme Up TV. People, God bless you, man, support it. Big Belly Sky is the Workers Champion. That you are good youth and God bless you. So support him. Hey, Sky Youth!
My name is Duembo from the World Immortals Toll over. I don't know. Rhyme Up TV, me I tell you about that TV station. Don't touch on the dial, you understand? World's Toll Love, Rhyme Up TV. Horse, angry.
I'm coming to the world Google. Not about Rhyme Up TV. It's a Rhyme Up, one of the real one them. That's why me stand up here son I do this. That's Rhyme Up. I'm real. I'm salute him. You hear that? Rhyme Up, pick up yourself, you know. Rhyme Up!
You're from on your family, the rebel girl Daniel here representing Rhyme Up. I love you.
Well, I don't know how I kill Marvelous to represent for DJ Rhyme Up. Rhyme Up.
Yes, them on there ain't no stress, then you don't know it. Sean Paul alongside the Rhyme Up. Tell some song boy them time up. You don't know it go.
Big sound.
Rhyme Up. Play music. Don't hear.
Rhyme Up. I want global Rhyme Up. Because you're really talking. I am telling you.
Clean out talk on this Rhyme Up.